Hello viewers, and thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Crime Watch, where we talk about crime issues occurring across the country, highlighting efforts by your police service in fighting this scourge, with of course the help of you members of the public. I'm your host, Tendekai Dandaradze. It's good to have you along. We start today's program by assuring you that your police service will continue to rid communities of criminals and anyone who disturbs peace in the country. We are happy to announce that some of the criminals who appeared before the courts of law were convicted and sentenced for various offences. Langton Chimombe, aged 54, who raped his 13-year-old stepdaughter, appeared before the courts and was convicted and sentenced to 20 years imprisonment. Joseph Chisango, aged 19 years, appeared before Marondera Regional Court and was convicted and sentenced to 15 years imprisonment after raping a 7-year-old girl. Moving on, Zetarapi Manyame District got a tip-off and reacted swiftly, leading to the arrest of 3 accused persons and recovery of 23 solar batteries and 8 solar panels.
Recently, we received a tip-off from an anonymous caller to the effect that he had noticed 3 male adults pushing an unregistered motor vehicle off Sarue Primary School towards Harare Blawai Road. The police reacted. On seeing the police, the 3 male adults who were pushing the vehicle ran away. The police made a chase and managed to arrest one. After the arrest, the vehicle was searched, resulting in 23 solar batteries belonging to Liquid Telecom and Telecel Company being recovered. He then implicated his 2 other accomplices who were then arrested within 48 hours. The batteries which were stolen are all valued at United States dollars 23,000. After the arrest of the 3 accused persons, they managed to assist the police in the recovery of 8 solar panels, which were amongst the 24 solar panels that had been stolen at Mornington Base Station in Kadoma. The same 3 accused persons, when they committed the offense in Sarue, were on bail at Chitungiza Magistrate Court, facing a similar charge of theft of solar batteries from telecommunication boosters. We would like to applaud the members of the public for the valuable information they are sharing with the police, which is assisting the police in the recovery of property and the arrest of the accused persons.
Still in Manyame District, a team of detectives was formed following an increase in the cases of robberies using machetes to investigate and look for these perpetrators.
We received a number of robbery cases which were happening in and around Norton area. We then decided to second our officers to carry out some patrols in Nyamweda area where we had received a number of house robberies and carjacking. Then on the 12th of October, detectives then received information to the effect that the robbers were driving along Nyamweda Road. They then intercepted the robbers along a dust road, and fortunately there was only one robber in the vehicle, so they managed to arrest him. It was also discovered that the Toyota Wish he was driving had been robbed in Masvingo. He then led detectives to the arrest of his accomplice in Chitungwiza. They've managed to clear 4 cases of robbery that occurred in Norton. So far, we have recovered the 2 stolen vehicles. And we've also recovered some cell phones from their houses, TVs, gas cylinders, which property they were just targeting. And we've managed to send the accused persons to court where they were remanded in custody.
We encourage you to be observant in your areas and report any suspicious activities to the police. We take a short break. Join us shortly. Welcome to the second segment of Crime Watch, and thank you for staying tuned. Following a tip-off from members of the public, S08E Luveve in Bulawayo managed to arrest one accused person who was part of a syndicate behind a spate of unlawful entry and theft cases which were being committed in Kodri Park suburb. The arrest led to the recovery of several plasma televisions, solar batteries, decoders, gas stoves, laptops, cell phones, blankets, and various household goods valued at approximately 300,000 Zimbabwean dollars. Other syndicate members are still at large, and the police are appealing for information that may lead to the arrest of outstanding gang members.
We received a tip-off from a member of the public to the effect that there was a suspect who was selling property that was suspected to have been stolen. So we reacted to that information swiftly. We managed to arrest the suspect. We managed to recover a number of stolen property, that is 5 plasma televisions. We also recovered the 4 solar batteries, 2 laptops, decoders, speakers, and an assortment of goods. And we are still to recover some more property.
Thieves broke into my house. They stole some televisions, 2 television sets, solar batteries, an inverter, quite a lot of household assortments. And I reported my case to the police. All along I thought maybe the police was not doing their job. And only yesterday I received a phone call from the police to say, no, look, can you come to the police right away? We've managed to identify the suspects who stole your goods. I managed to identify some of my items, though some have not been recovered, but the suspects have been apprehended. And from the look of things, I think I'm going to recover most of my things. And I would like to urge all of our residents, whatever the scenario, report your case to the police. It's just that they are incapacitated, but otherwise, everything being equal, these guys are doing such a wonderful job.
Ngachontshela generator kwenyakuze shopping center Luveve opposite stadium. So amapholisa ayirecover igenerator yango bandireportile. So ngiyababonga kakhulu umsebenzi abawenzile.
We have since discovered that the criminals are now actually getting into people's premises during broad daylight and stealing assorted items of property. So I would like to urge members of the public to make sure that their premises are always secured. At least they leave someone at the premises or inform their neighbors whenever they are going out. We want to urge members of the public to be responsible citizens. Whenever they see anything bad happening in their area, they mustn't wait for the police to react. They must act. We have got cases where we see people carrying property during broad daylight. Members of the public should actually question those people as to where the property is coming from and where it's going.
Pursuant to its role in protecting the country's heritage, CID Minerals Flora and Fauna Units in Mount Darwin has recovered elephant tusk and a pangolin in Mkumbura area.
We've got some cases here of some poaching in our area, especially along the Mkumbura border, stretching to Gurue and Mshumbi pools. These offenders usually go into the parks or national parks armed with the cyanide. Some go with the rifles to poach in those areas. We received some information that there were some people in Kumbura who were trading some elephant ivory. We managed to apprehend one accused, Tedious Ruishi, who was in possession of 6 elephant tusks. We also managed to arrest Desire Marunga, who was in possession of a live pangolin. We urge members of the public who might have any information of poaching and possession of specially protected animals to report to the police.
As we approach the festive season, the S08E together with the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe continue to conscientize all road users on the total safety strategy following an increase of hit-and-run cases.
We continuously want to alert our road users about the dangers which lie with using the roads. We would like to speak to the issues of a strategy for total traffic safety. When it's total, it's not partial, it's not piecemeal, it's not done halfway, it is complete, because in respect of safety issues, we must be complete, we must be 100%. How is it done? There is the period or the time before the crash has happened. There are a number of issues which road users must observe, including making sure they are licensed, defensive driving. If you are a pedestrian, you must know which side of the road to walk and avoid distracted walking. There is a disturbing trend of drivers who engage in hit and run cases. They drive and hit a pedestrian or another car and are not going to stop. This is so disturbing because it is against the law. Once you are involved in a road traffic crash as a driver, you are supposed to assist in making sure that there is a prompt emergency medical attention for those who are injured. We as passers-by, as other travelers using the same road, we have an obligation that goes beyond our selfish issues. You are your brother's keeper, so you are supposed to immediately report to the police. So we are calling upon, as we approach the festive season, that we minimize to zero hit and run cases. Speak to the inner person of yourself as a driver that you honor up. Surrender to the police. If you are afraid of mob justice, because it can be meted out on you, drive to the nearest police station or nearest roadblock. The police have an obligation to protect every citizen. This is our story. This is actually dovetailing with the Golden Hour campaign, which campaign stresses that after a crash has happened, within 1 hour of the crash occurring, we must ensure that there is prompt medical, emergency medical attention to the injured. And also, in the event that the unfortunate thing happens, there are those who could have been deceased. We must properly cover them and respect them even in their death. This is our story.
Let's continue working together to achieve total safety on our roads. We take a short break. Join us shortly. Police are concerned with cases of online child abuse, and as such, they are working with various stakeholders such as Save the Children, who recently donated 2 savers, which will go a long way in fighting this scourge. The equipment was recently handed over to the ZRP at an event attended by officers and members of the police, delegates from UNICEF and Save the Children. We later caught up with Acting Staff Officer Victim Friendly Unit, Superintendent Francis Mutema, who said the equipment will go a long way in investigating issues of online child abuse.
We have realized over the years that a new breed of offenses are actually coming up as a result of the advances in technology. As you are aware, in Zimbabwe, a lot of people have access to the internet and also access to mobile gadgets. So we realized that new offenses are actually coming up, for example, where people post child sexual abuse material. There are also issues related to cyberbullying and so forth. As a result of these new trends, we realized that there was need for us also to focus on policing the cyberspace as the victim-friendly unit. Hence, we started the Online Safety for Children project, which we were implementing together with Save the Children International. And our officers then went on into the communities, particularly in Harare, where we were having a pilot project. Having done that, we also realized that there was a need to scale up this particular project and go countrywide, and this is exactly what we are doing now. Over and above that, we also realized that there was need also to work hand in hand with other international and regional organizations, and for that reason, we then saw that it was fit and prudent for us to link up with Interpol and be connected to the International Child Sexual Exploitation Database, which is called the XA database. And recently we received some savers from Save the Children International, which we are going to use in connecting to this particular database that is administered by Interpol. It will help us in victim identification, identification of traveling sex offenders, but over and above that, we also have another database that we also developed together with our police software development team, which is the Victim-Friendly Unit Information Management System. And we are also going to utilize the same servers for that particular purpose as well. As the victim-friendly unit, we receive several requests from government departments, civil society organizations, where they require, information about, trends in relation to crimes against women and children. And we realized that we need to have this information on our fingertips. Hence, we developed this particular system.
The ZRP Medical Services held its annual HIV conference, which ran under the theme, ZRP Medical Services Promoting Quality Life through Sustainable Antiretroviral Therapy and Early Detection of HIV-related cancers. The event, which was held in Harare, was officiated by the Deputy Commissioner General Crime, Deputy Commissioner General Stephen Mutamba.
The event provides us with a rare opportunity not only to think about the challenges that the organization is confronted with in the area of HIV and AIDS, but also to chart the way forward on how best the Zimbabwe Republic Police Medical Service can improve health services in the fight against cancers in collaboration with sister organizations and other stakeholders. I would like to urge you to look beyond the organization and examine what other health practitioners as well as scientists globally have through experience and researches being implemented in the promotion of quality life through sustainable acts and early detection of HIV-related cancers. Zimbabwe, if you want to go to school, yes, we can be people who are not zero, one of the highest literacy rate in Africa. But what is it that we are contributing towards the growth of this country, towards the growth of this world? Isu as Zimbabweans. And yet we don't produce anything from the knowledge that we have gained from our institutions. This is a challenge to you. But when you come back, make sure that we see value in whatever you've been doing. And the fight against HIV and AIDS is not a one-man battle, but it entails multi-pronged approach, and I'm pleased to note that the Zimbabwe Public Police has today joined hands with the National AIDS Council, Ministry of Health and Child Care and other stakeholders in the fight against cancer.
Sports is one of the platforms used by the Zimbabwe Republic Police to interact with various stakeholders and improve its policing. Recently, a fundraising golf tournament was held at the ZRP Golf Club, and golfers from different organizations attended.
The reason why we had this tournament was to raise funds for the upkeep of our golf course. And the sport is important to us as police officers because it keeps us fit for our police duties, and it also helps us to interact with different stakeholders as we are rebranding and reconnecting with the public.
I'm happy that the police has provided us with a rare opportunity to interface and interact with one another in a relaxed environment for a noble cause. I'm delighted to note that this year's tournament has come at a time when the ZRP is leaving no stone unturned in its quest to rebrand its image with a view to improve service delivery. This indeed needs to be commended, as it reflects the unwavering dedication with the police is in maintaining law and order, as well as fighting crime.
The ZRP Golf Club fundraising tournament is now in its third year, and the support received from stakeholders continue to grow remarkably. We want to thank you for continuing to support us. Allow me to congratulate the winners and all you who participated in the tournament.
As we wrap up this week's episode, we would like to highlight some of the people on the police wanted list. Kelvin Bepe, aged 50 years, whose last known address is number 73 Tredgo Drive, Belvedere, Harare, is wanted by ZRP Airport Base, Harare, for theft. Musa Denge, aged 30 years, is wanted by Queen's Park Police for a case of rape. His last known address is number 2573 Nyuma Gwegwe Blawayo. Joan Vungure, aged 31 years, of Village 4A Mondongori Zhishavane, is wanted by Zhishavane police for a case of rape. Anyone with information of the whereabouts of these people may contact any nearest police station or contact us on the details that have been appearing on your screen. It has been a pleasure having you along, and we appreciate your continuous support in fighting crime. From me, Tendekai Dandaradzi, and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing.